One thing that I'm starting to realize right now is that I am deeply comparing myself, and that's what's sucking me of my energy and joy right now in my life. I'm comparing myself physically to other people, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And I wanted to make this video because I know that you are too. If you clicked on this video, you are 9 times out of 10 comparing yourself to somebody else, and it's probably a celebrity or a friend. And it's not enviousness. It's not always that you want them to not have it. It's not always jealousy. It's sometimes just a feeling of, what am I doing wrong? And I feel like there should be a different word for that. It's not always jealousy. It's not always enviousness. But I want to talk about this video, social comparison, because that's really what that is. And social comparison is not a bad thing. Comparing yourself to someone else or something else isn't always a bad thing, because social comparison can be used for inspiration or it could be used for self-deprecation. And most of the time we're using it for self-deprecation. For example, people measure Beyonce to like a high degree. So that would be considered upward. In psychology, they call it upward social comparison, because you're looking up and you're like, she's better than me. She has all this money. She has all this talent. She has all this beauty. She has a nice, beautiful family. She has it all. And what do I have? And then you start to compare yourself, and you're seeing her on a pedestal based on what she has. Now, what you can do is either feel bad about yourself where you're at, like, I'm working 9 to 5, I have acne, I don't have the body I want, I don't have attention, and my business or whatever isn't going well, blah, 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 blah. You can use that as a measure of self-deprecation and, oh, I feel bad about myself. Or what some people do is they use Beyonce as a level of inspiration. Not saying that you're gonna have exactly her life, but it's like, I can have a better life than the one I have now, because I see this girl got it. So I feel like if she has it, then I can have it. And that's like that. I feel like it can even be like that if you're an athlete. If you're an athlete, this person is ahead of you and may have been working longer than you in a field. You can look up and be like, okay, I look up to this person. Upward social comparison. And they have something that I want, so I'm just gonna get it. That's inspiration. And that's how you transmute comparison from being the thief of joy to being the pathway to inspiration and greatness. Then, as we know, there's also downward social comparison. So in psychology, downward social comparison is where basically people feel better about themselves when they can place somebody lower than themselves. If I can look down upon you, I feel better about myself. And the first thing I want to say about that is pride goeth before a mighty fall. Feeling good about yourself, feeling like you're that girl, and feeling like and certain people are underneath you, that also, it makes you feel, your ego feels stroked. Like when you see somebody homeless or on drugs or something, or a certain body type, you may feel good about yourself on the surface level, your ego. But people that compare themselves like that in downward social comparison, it usually indicates insecurity deep down. On the surface, you have a hard shell of ego, but underneath that is a fragile, insecure person. Because you don't need to look down upon other people to feel good about yourself. You just being excellent on your own can be enough. And I just think it's interesting that our brains even compare like this at all. But it's just, I think it's better in a way to have the upper social comparison, because at least you can be inspired. Whereas with the other one, you're judging somebody else for being beneath you. And when you're doing that, it's just showing that you're insecure where you're at, because you need to check to make sure somebody else is beneath you. And if you need somebody as your footstool, and you need somebody underneath you, then maybe you don't have enough ground under your feet. Maybe you're not stable. If people need to be under you, then you're not stable on your own. Okay? So let that sink in. Now, for me, I have been comparing myself a lot lately when it comes to physical looks. Like for me, and it was inspiring me for a moment. So earlier in September, It's somebody on social media that I really, really like, and I talked about it in another video. It's someone that I kind of have a crush on, but also very inspired by him. And he has all of these muscles and things like that, and he really takes care of himself. So at first it was inspiring me. I was looking up to him. It was inspiring me to go to the gym. So I started going to the gym for the past month. I've been going 4 times a week, and I've been going for at least an hour, sometimes an hour and a half. And I was really feeling better about myself because I was going. But then after a while, what happened was I started to notice that it felt good at first, but then it started to like dwindle down where I didn't feel so good. And the reason why I didn't feel so good because I kept comparing my progress to what he looks like. So he became the measure of my success, and it no longer became inspiration, it became self-deprecation, and it can easily become that. Now, can you get to a space where you don't compare at all? You can, but you just have to be careful of how you compare, or if you're caring, you have to just be aware. Just be aware of what you're thinking. But for me, yeah, I was using him as a way to like measure my progress. So I started to feel really bad about myself. And lately, I have not been going to the gym like that. And I had to ask myself, like, Tabari, why aren't you going to the gym? Like, we said we was gonna start going to the gym this year. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I just don't feel like it no more. Like, I don't want to. And it's like, I don't feel like I'm making progress. I don't feel good about it no more. I'm not proud of myself. And that was the thing. I'm not proud of myself because I will only be proud when I look like him or have what he has. But I don't know what his genetics is like. I don't know what his environment is like. I don't know what his eating is like. I don't know what his life is like. He's a whole separate person, and I'm just seeing on the outside what he looks like and hoping to obtain that. But why can't I just look good on my own? And who says I don't look good now? Why am I telling myself that I need muscles to be considered attractive or handsome at all? Like, why can't I appreciate what I have right now? And that's kind of the core reason I'm making this video, because I want to learn and I want to deeply accept myself right now. And I want whoever listens to this to do the same. It's like, we can improve ourselves, we can compare, we're necessary for inspiration, but at the end of the day, we have to practice acceptance for who we are and where we are and what we have, because it can be worse, it can be different. And my friend said this to me recently, and because I was like, well, I just feel like I don't have enough money to date or be, accepted in society, or I don't look a certain way. And even my therapist said this too. It was just like, you don't need those things. And they've been telling me this for a while, but it really set in lately. Like, they're like, you don't need the money. You don't need the certain look. You don't need all that. Like, the person that will love you, people that will love you will just love you. They'll just accept you for who you are and where you are. And if you decide to change certain things and elevate at the same time, that's fine. They're just going to love you regardless. And the person that you're meant to be with, the people you're meant to be around, they'll just love you. So you don't always have to strive to be something different either. Like, it's okay to change, but it's not okay to not accept where you are, because you have to accept where you are to also, in a peaceful manner, bring about change. Something that you can do that can help you when it comes to comparison, especially through social media, is, especially if you're on Instagram or TikTok, try to follow people that only inspire you. Don't follow people that are making you feel bad about yourself. Don't follow people that you're comparing yourself to, and it's the upward social comparison, but it's in a negative sense. It's in self-deprecation and feeling bad about yourself. Don't follow those people. Don't follow Instagram baddies, or don't follow certain athletes that make you feel bad about yourself. Follow people that make you feel good about yourself. And even if they have something you want, you're using it as inspiration to create your own lane, to get your own things in your own way. That's so important. Only be around people in your day-to-day that inspire you to have your own stuff in your own way. And you don't have to have exactly what they have in their exact way, because they were born with different gifts and different abilities and different sights than you. And they weren't born with better abilities or gifts or sights than you. Everybody has their own gifts, abilities, personalities, equipment that their soul was downloaded with when they came into this body. You are excellent, and follow people that remind you of your own excellence. And that will really change the trajectory of where you're headed and how you go about heading in that direction, because you will be in a vibration of pure joy as you ascend in whatever you're trying to ascend in. But anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. That's all I have to say. I hope that you can go about your journey in your own unique way, and that us together, we can learn to use comparison as a tool and not allow it to be a demon or presence over our life. So I'll see you in my next video, and bye.